The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return.
In 1900, an English lady asked the horseman on her country estate if he had ever noticed any ghosts. "Ghosties," he scoffed. "Who's believin' in them? All I've ever seen about the place is lantern men. I've seen them running around scores of times." Some people call the lantern men hobber-lantern, jack-o'-lantern, will-o'-the-wisp, or Will. A pale, eerie light that appeared over bogs and marshes bobbed along like a lantern in someone's hand. The sight sometimes made a farmer's horse shy and tip his cart into the ditch. A person on foot would run for his very life. One farmer in Kent told of being followed home by a jack-o'-lantern. There, shivering and shaking, the farmer jumped into bed and pulled the covers over his head. When he finally got up enough courage to look out, the jack-o'-lantern was at his window. The first thing to do, if you met one, was to put out your own lantern. Otherwise, Jack would come up and dash it to pieces. If he came this close, you should throw yourself on the ground and hold your breath. Advice like this was passed around from person to person. The ghostly lights that hovered over graves dug in marshy places were called corpse candles. Fishermen in Kent used to see them above a treacherous swampland on the coast. They believed them to be signals from souls of men lost at sea. They said it meant that the men wanted to be buried when their bodies washed ashore. Even if a bone or two could be found, the ghost would be laid to rest and the corpse candles put out. In places where the strange lights were known as will-o'-the-wisp, people warned one another never to follow one. The will-o'-the-wisp would lead a person to a watery depth in the deepest, most dangerous part of the swamp. What was the strange flickering light that so many people said they met or had seen? Scientists call it ignis fatuus, meaning foolish fire. It may be something like the phosphorus that gives the firefly its flashing light, or it may come from the spontaneous combustion of methane, the marsh gas that burns so easily. The gas is given off by rotting plant and animal forms in places with little oxygen. The same gas is found in the fire damp that causes mine explosions. Before this was known, some people imagined that the jack-o'-lanterns were the souls of sinners condemned to walk the earth until the end of time. An Irish story tells of a ne'er-do-well named Stingy Jack, who one Halloween invited the devil to have a drink. "If you pay for it," the devil replied. "But you can change it to any shape you choose," Jack protested. "Change yourself into a sixpence. After I've paid for the drink, you can change yourself back." The devil agreed. He muttered a spell, disappeared, and then on the counter was a shiny new sixpence. But Stingy Jack popped the coin into his pocket, where a silver cross prevented the devil from getting out. "If you let me alone for a year, I'll let you out," Jack said. The devil promised and was released. Jack intended to reform. He meant to take his pay home to his wife, to go to church, and to give to the poor. But as soon as he was out of danger, he went back to the former ways. The following Halloween, he met the devil on a lonely road. "He's come for my soul," thought Jack. This time he tricked the devil into sparing him for 10 years. But before a year had passed, Jack died. Turned back at the gates of heaven, he made his way back to the gates of hell. "Go away," the devil shouted. "Go back where you came from. You tricked me and made me promise not to claim your soul." "But it's dark," said Jack. "How can I find my way?" The devil threw him a glowing coal. Jack put it inside a turnip, and ever since, with his jack-o'-lantern, he has been roaming the face of the earth. At Halloween, Scottish children look for the largest turnips from the harvest. They hollow them out, carve faces on them, and put candles inside. They call them bogies and carry them to scare away witches. Irish children use turnips or potatoes. In parts of England, children carry punkies, made of large beets known as mangel-wurzels. They are hollowed out and have a window through which the candle shines. When the Scotch and Irish people came to the United States, they found pumpkins growing here. With their brilliant color, their round shapes, and soft insides, pumpkins made perfect jack-o'-lanterns, and they do still. In Sycamore, Illinois, about a week before Halloween, pumpkin fever breaks out. Everyone gets ready for the pumpkin contest. In a few days, hundreds of decorated pumpkins will cover the courthouse lawn, and prizes will be awarded for the best. There is a pumpkin pie baking contest, and a contest to see who can eat the most. At the end of the festival comes the pumpkin parade. The festival really begins the spring before, when the pumpkin seeds are passed out. The children plant their seeds and watch them grow through the summer and the fall.